y'all, welcome back to Belle Farm. I'm in the kitchen today. It is a very hot, muggy day, typical early September day here in North Florida. And so I opted to stay put inside and get some inside things done. So today that means kitchen day. I am finishing up a canner full of mushrooms, so that's finished. And before I start on the next thing, I've got some beans we canned, some white egg peas. I've got some strawberries we're getting ready to jam. Got some other things going on here. Got some cheese going, got some okra fermenting, and before I start the next thing, we're gonna go check on our Belle. So I've been watching Belle. The cows are in this field, this front field outside of my kitchen window, which the kitchen window is right through there, so I can see out here and kind of keep an eye on her and see how much she's getting up and laying down. If she's doing that a lot repeatedly, that would be a possible sign of labor. I haven't seen that. I posted a very quick video, short video earlier about Belle, her baby moving. So her baby belly moving. That never ever gets old. But she's laying down out there, so I'm gonna go check on her. Belle is the one cow, she has calved 3 times for us, and she has all of the final signs before calving all at the same time. Whereas other cows we've had experience with took their time before calving, you know, especially Hazel. Like I knew, especially if we had a due date, that's always a good thing. We do have Belle's due date. She's 5 days past it, so she's driving me crazy. But Hazel, you know, her udder would fill a long time before calving. She might get some edema before calving. Those ligaments would loosen up, that kind of thing, like 24 to 48 hours before calving. Belle does it right before she gives birth. So the only thing that's ever off with her that I can tell right before calving is that she starts to separate herself from the herd. And I don't know that that's what she's doing here today or not, but she is by herself, so might just be where she chose to lay. So I'm gonna hop the fence and go check on her. Hey mama. Granny Belle. Girlfriend. Hey baby. Hey baby. Look at that udder. Aw. You okay, mama? She's such a sweet girl. I don't see any signs of labor. You okay, girl? Flies are bad on you today. I'm gonna go get some fly spray. Oh, that must feel so good. That must feel so good. Yeah. She's my sweetheart. My sweet Belle. Sweet Belle. But her udder, her teats are huge. And when she calves, they're like cone shape. In fact, most times her calves aren't able to get their mouths on to latch on and get colostrum, so we have to help. And I usually have to milk her out a little bit. I usually just do it in the field. But every time, I want to milk her so bad. And I feel like I could because she's so sweet. I know I could train her to milk, but I don't know if she'll ever have enough milk for me to actually milk her and raise a calf. But she's so good that she'll raise all the babies. She'll let everybody nurse off of her. She does not care who it is. Belle is basically an open milk bar. But so those teats are starting to swell. So that's cool. I don't know. She could do it today. She could do it a week from now. So cows can safely go 2 weeks on either side of their due date, much like people, and their gestation period is the same. So she's 5 days past due. Your guess is as good as mine. This is a white firelight. It smells so good. And the love bugs are here. They love it. Here's a couple, the gardenia. Love bugs mean fall is coming though, so as much as we hate them, I'll take some fall for sure. So one of the key things when I say we're putting up food for winter for our homestead is eggs. So we have started to lime eggs. The last 2 winters we limed eggs, and that is where we used a hydrated lime solution in order to preserve raw eggs until spring, when we start to get a big flush from our layer girls again. So to do that, I use these gallon jars. This has been sanitized. These are, I'm not sure where these came from, honestly. I got them from a friend. I have a whole stash of them. But it's a gallon sized jar, and I've got plastic screw top lids. I did get the lids on Amazon. I've got clean eggs. So to do this, you want to use clean, unwashed eggs. Some of these eggs you can see have some dirt on them. I'll just set those aside and we'll use those fresh. And then you want clean water. So the water I have is just canned. It has been through the pressure canner as a placeholder whenever I was canning something else. So I've got 2 quarts of water. I've got my jar, I've got my eggs, and I've got my hydrated lime. So I keep a big bag of this in my feed shed where I use it in the chicken coop or in areas around the farm. But the first thing I do when I buy a new bag is to bring some into the kitchen, and it just sits in a drawer. This is the only thing I use it for. Now this lime can be caustic, so you want to take precautions with that. You don't want to inhale it. You don't want to get it in your eyes and your nose. You don't want to, it can irritate your skin. It doesn't irritate everybody's skin, but it can, and that warning is on the bag. So you can use pickling lime, is also hydrated lime, but that's going to be very expensive by volume compared to what you can get in your feed co-op store, or where we get it is from your big box construction home improvement store. So you can look in the concrete and cement section, and they sell it in a large, I think it's a 60-pound bag, might be a 50-pound bag, hydrated lime. And so hydrated lime, we're gonna measure out, this is 1 ounce by weight to each quart of water by volume. So I've got a scale to do that with, and I'm gonna take you along. All right, so I'm just gonna put my jar on the scale. I'm gonna zero it out, and I'm going to carefully measure out 2 ounces. All right, so it's almost 1 ounce, about 1.4. There we go, 2 ounces. All right, I haven't used this since last year when I put eggs up, and I probably won't use it again until next year, so I'm just gonna tuck it away. Okay, and then I wanna use my 2 quarts of clean water. You could use purchased water, like distilled water would be good. Make sure you're not breathing that powder coming out. Scale anymore. Set that aside. So I know this is going to fill up my gallon jar about halfway. And once I get eggs filled up in here, it's going to take the whole, that solution will be displaced so that the whole jar is filled. All right, now this is mixed very well. This lime will separate out, and that's okay. You can see in this jar over here, this is a jar from last year. So this is from August of last year, and we'll look at that more in just a minute, but you can see where the lime settles down, and that's okay. All right, I'm gonna try my best to keep count. Just carefully setting them in. 1, 2. So this egg is dirty. It's got a little chicken poop on it. I'm just gonna set it aside. We'll use that one fresh, or we'll wash it to sell. Okay, so that is these are eggs that will last, some say 18 months. I don't know why you would want to keep them for 18 months. Okay, so here are my limed eggs. You can see where the lime has started to separate out, and that's okay. Like I said, you wanna be very gentle with this. Obviously, you don't want any broken eggs. If you do end up cracking an egg in here, it will ruin your solution. You'll know it because when you open it, there will be a very foul smell. It's not like a rotten egg though. It's like, it's a putrid foul smell. You'll know. So I'm gonna put today's date on here. It is 9/6/22, and I have 36 eggs in here. Last year I did 3 jars of these, but I also froze some eggs where I would do about a dozen in a Ziploc bag and put that in a freezer and bring that out to do scrambled eggs with. Now, that's pretty much all these are gonna be good for. Sometimes the yolks hold together long enough if it hasn't been too long of a lime period that you can fry an egg. I have found though they tend to break. They're not going to be good for hard cooking. The shells are going to be broken down too much to withstand hard boiling or steaming or any, oven, hard cooking, anything like that. So scrambling is your best bet, or using them in recipes where you that would call for an egg or 2 is the thing that we do most. And the reason I do this is because I have chickens. I don't want to buy eggs in my off season just because they're not laying. We have an abundance right now, and so in the season that we don't have any, I'll have some preserved and ready to go. I won't have to buy eggs. So I thought it'd be fun to go ahead. So they say this will last 18 months. I always laughed at that because I thought if you have to preserve eggs for 18 months for your dry period, then something's wrong with your chickens. You shouldn't have chickens that don't lay eggs for 18 months. But once we started getting fresh eggs, and we stopped eating our limed eggs this year. So I still have some. It looks like maybe a dozen and a half. And I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and open some up and see what they look like. Okay, real quick, when I take these eggs out before using them, because they are in that lime solution, I do rinse them off with just fresh tap water and rinse off that lime residue before I crack them for eating. So I'm gonna wash a couple real quick and see what they look like. I haven't used these in months, but they've been sitting in my dark pantry. And I think what I'll do is I'll just cook these back and give them to the chickens. Some extra fat and protein. The lime seems to have crystallized on there. I don't know if it's reacting with our hard water. I don't know. So it's kind of a line stuck on there. All right, 3 is probably good to run our little test with. Okay, so first I've got a fresh egg. I'm gonna crack a fresh egg for comparison. All right. So that looks like a decent egg. All right, here we go. Well, that's a hard shell. Okay, so right away you can see that the white is runny. I'm not surprised by that. That does happen. And the yolk already broke. This will probably scramble up just fine. All right, egg number 2 from 8, what did I say? Those are from August 3rd, 2021, and today is September 6th, 2022. So it's been it's been 13 months. Same thing, I got a runny white and a broken yolk right away. And a green egg. Well, that is a hard shell too, goodness. All right, so that one almost looked like it was dehydrated a little bit. The yolk wanted to stick inside that shell membrane. The white is runny, but once you scramble them, they look just like any other scrambled eggs. So these are the lined eggs. And this is the fresh egg. So this scrambles faster because it's a little bit watery. This white is held together better, and so it takes a little more whisking to make that scramble happen. Let's do a taste test. Okay, the moment of truth. They look just like regular scrambled eggs. They look great. They're very hot, fresh out of the skillet. They're great. The texture is normal. I prefer my eggs cooked in butter, and I used avocado oil, but they're good. So they're good. They're very good. Okay, so one last word on liming is that you want to make sure that you keep that jar in a dark, cool place. We keep them in a dark pantry closet, and they do just fine. I think I'm gonna call it quits for this one today. I have a lot to do. I still have to work on that strawberry jam. We did a big batch of muscadine jam, and that was fun. I hadn't done that since I was a teenager, and it turned out really, really well. The family who grew those grapes didn't know what to do with them, and so they asked for help. So we canned them up, and they offered to pay us for it, and then they asked for some strawberry jam too. So I went and bought a flat of strawberries at the market. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is put up some strawberries and keep rolling. I'll check on Belle again in a little bit. And so hopefully stay tuned for that. Hopefully we catch her calving on video and we can share that with you as well. Let me know if you have any questions, and until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.